The Pattern Layout Helper feature will allow you to map out your entire quilt. Select the Pattern Layout Helper icon from the list on the right. You can use either a preloaded pattern like I am, or you can select a pattern from the folder icon here. In order to see your changes live, you will need to select the Quilt Preview icon in the bottom right. This will show you all of the rows rather than just one. You will notice all the possible selectors for your quilt layout along the bottom. These values displayed are in inches, and as they are changed, they will change in increments of inches. The first step is to set your quilt length. Select the number under quilt length and change the value to the length of your quilt. For this demonstration, I am going to use 80 inches. Next, you will set the number of passes you wish to put on the quilt. The number of passes refers to how many rows the pattern will run along the quilt. When you change the number of passes, the pattern will automatically scale to fit the quilt area. If I set my value to 20, then it will scale to fit 20 rows on my quilt. If I set my value to 15, then it will scale to fit 15 rows on my quilt. Row spacing will refer to the distance between rows or passes. If we set this value to 1 inch, there will be an inch between rows. If we set them to a ½ inch, there will be a ½ inch between rows. Top binding and bottom binding are easiest to think of as margins. The higher the value, the more space you have between the top and bottom of your quilt and your stitching. These can be set to any value, but we will use a ½ inch for this demonstration. The last value is quilt shrinkage. As you stitch, the fabric will compress and the total quilt area will become slightly smaller. The denser the quilt, the higher the shrinkage should be. There is no hard and fast rule for what the value should be, so use your experience to set your preferred values. This has been a tutorial on the Pattern Layout Helper. Enjoy using this feature in your quilting.